um, February 26th, 2017. And I would hate to say that I'm going to make this a short video and then make it a long video, but sometimes the content takes over. Let's see what this guy has to say.
This Sandra Bland situation got me a little more than upset, y'all. But before I get into that, I have to address something that I've been seeing on the internet. Brothers making videos, lambasting sisters, saying that they are the sole source of the problems with the black community, that the way the hood is right now is because of sisters alone, deciding that they don't want to have a man in the lives of their children, that sisters are siding more with the LGBTQ agenda, fighting harder for that than they are for black people, saying that black women have bought the hook, line, and sinker of white feminism, saying that they don't need no man, that our black women's minds are so caught up in the church that they have no earthly good and ain't doing the hood no good as well. And they're saying that black men is too pussy, too weak to hold these sisters accountable to that, and that's why it keeps continuing. And then you got cats like Tommy Sotomayor, who find the absolute worst examples of black women I can ever imagine. Like, I don't know where...
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Okay. Tommy's not finding them. They are being exposed. People send him these things.
Amazing creatures, aren't they?
Okay, thank you, Tommy Sotomayor, for all you do. I have to send him some cash, just for symbolism alone. Look at this lady's face. She just got to shooting her son in the chest. All right, does she look like she's sad? Does she look like anything that's normal? Somebody, I mean, how many people shoot their children? Black women.
People tell me that the reason I make my videos is because I tend to pick the lowest class black women. I tend to pick the uneducated black women. I tend to pick the black women who are devoid of finances and morality based upon the situations that they live in. Of course, there would never be a black queen who lived in upper middle class or even upper class who would do things like this. So it's easy to find the flaw in my argument, right? Right. Hello, everyone. I'm Tommy Sotomayor, and this is TNN News Raw. And this story comes out of Prince George's County. And I could not believe that it would come from a place like this with a beautiful black mother who lives in a nice home like this. But it did. Now, we've been told that, well, I like to pick a lot of single black women, but if you go to the middle class and upper class, these educated black women have a family. Well, by family, you mean just some kids they had from some dudes that they are raising by themselves, and they want credit for it because that means that they're strong, that they're able to take care of the mistakes that they made to themselves. Right there's a PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, that black woman, that house, and her child, right there, are the subject of this story, because guess what happened? The black woman decided to murder her own child because he dared disrespect the black queen in her castle by playing a video game. Don't believe me? Take a look.
A mother shot and killed her 17-year-old son in...
Okay, I'm going to have to start going at this a different way and seeing what the devil is saying. The advocate of the devil. One of the things he's going to say is, why, just make your own videos, man. Stop worrying, looking around at what other people are doing. If you don't like it, just don't look at it.
None of these sisters, putting them out there, these highly dysfunctional women, as if they are the representatives of all black women. Like, he don't know who Michelle Alexander is. Like, he don't know who Angela Davis is. And saying that they're hair-hatted hooligans. And saying that this is the reason why the hood is so messed up. And
now,
is the mechanism.
Is that true that black women went around with their hair? Unfortunately, there's not one on camera, but generally, these type of stories, there's some chick with some kind of skunk on her head or something, thinking it looks good, playing with it.
Clinton home last night. Police say Angelique Chase grabbed a revolver during an argument over foul language in video games and shot him once in the chest. Fox 5's Paul Wagner joins us live from police headquarters tonight with that story. Paul?
Sarah, it's been a very tough day for the family of Christopher Perry and for the students and faculty at Grace Brethren, where he was a senior. What we know is that his mother, Angelique Chase, was arrested last night after a shooting inside their Clinton home. What we understand is that she was initially charged with second-degree murder, but after detectives conferred with prosecutors today, that charge was up to...
Okay, I just went to the Feed the Hungry today, and one thing the African Americans, the so-called constructed Negro, they don't stand in line. They touch everything. They act like overgrown kids. There was a lesbian couple on the bus. The masculine one looked better than supposedly the feminine one. Really, better teeth, better everything, better skin, better hair. She didn't have on a hair weave. Black people don't know what a pedestrian crossing is. They don't know what a pedestrian is. The guy on his moped, I'm crossing the street, he doesn't even look at me. I looked at him. Black people do so many things wrong. So many things. And this is one of the things that they did wrong. And it's not Tommy Sotomayor putting the story. Why don't you talk about Fox 5 in Palmer Park, Maryland? What about them? You know, I don't care what you do, but I'm just saying that there are people doing these type of things, and you people like him are only worried about the people who report the stories, not the people who make the stories.
That we make a mental slave. So be mindful of that. We got to step past that behavior. But other than that, and that's not all black women, I would say that that's a majority, because realistically, we wouldn't have gotten this far if we weren't doing something right up against the obstacles that we are facing. And it's so easy to vent the anger that you should have at your oppressor to those who are closest to you. That's a mistake. I would say
this man is a cuck. Let's look that up again. I can't stand these mugs, man. The best women that I know are ladies that have fathers. Cucking, historical. This guy is a cuck in the sense that short for cuck. Cuckold. The husband of an adulteress, often regarded as the object of derision. I'm not going to look that up. Of a man, make another man a cuckold by having sexual relations with his wife. Of a man's, make her husband cuckold. And let's say I call him a cuck in the sense that he's just trying to get some play from somebody. And I'm not mad at him for that. You know, he can have all of the ones that pass by my way, because very few women, period, today. I'm a Mgtow. I have gone my own way. I have other diversions. I have other things to occupy my time rather than trying to date a woman with grandkids and kids of her own and grandkids of her children. But that's what I believe he is.
man, I think that we need to be.
He strikes me as the kind of guy like me. He's hitting the iron. Or he's definitely pumping up. But he strikes me as the kind of guy that was skinny, like I was when I was a kid, and the kind of guy that now that he's blooming, he wants to go back and try to capture some of those women that he might have missed out on because he was skinny, maybe not built. You know, he seems very smart, and he seems like a nice man. But I just think that you need to stop chasing vagina, man.
That if you have a critique of black women, brothers, why aren't you stepping in? I'll give you an example. There was a time I was at the train station, man, and I got off the train, and there was a sister there, had this little baby boy. I mean, he was a wrestler, little wild little dude. He's about 6 years old, you know what I'm saying? And she could not control him. Now, me, this girl, and this baby was the only black people at this train station. Everybody else was white, just looking at, look at how she's treating her child. Oh, my goodness, those Negroes just can't get it right. And it was slightly embarrassing. And this sister had had enough. She grabbed for her belt, and she began to pull it out, and I said, "Stop. Sis, I'm a mandatory reporter with Denver Public Schools. If I see something, I gotta say something. I don't want to see nothing. Put that belt away." And I addressed the kid. I was like, "Little dude, don't you ever embarrass your moms like this when you out here in the public. Let me see you doing that again, and you're going to have to deal with me."
That's what a father's supposed to do, not some guy at the train station, but I respect that.
First-degree murder. Let's show you some pictures and video from earlier today. As the news spread about Christopher's death, friends began posting messages on the internet. "Rest in peace, baby boy." Neighbors say the 17-year-old lived alone with his mother in this house on Buckler Road, just down the street from his school, Grace Brethren Christian, where he was a senior. As school let out this afternoon, approximately a dozen classmates came to the house, where they went to the front door. Many of them had flowers in their hands. Some of them wiped away tears as they spoke with Perry's older sister. All of them declined to comment. According to two law enforcement sources, Christopher Perry was playing video games in a first-floor room with another person we now know is a family member, when his mother heard what she thought was offensive language. And when she confronted her son, the two got into a verbal argument which then turned physical. According to the sources, Chase then went downstairs where she grabbed the revolver and confronted her son again in the living room, shooting him once in the chest. During an interview with police, Chase indicated to them that she did not mean to fire and was lowering the pistol when it went off. Listen now to Prince George's County Corporal Lamar Robinson explain why detectives increased the charge from second to first-degree murder, and that will be followed by a neighbor who was home when the shooting took place.
During the course of the investigation, the investigators consulted with our state's attorney's office, and during the course of the dispute, there found evidence that may indicate that the suspect had in mind to engage in this activity instead of being in a heat of the moment type environment.
Meaning that it may have been premeditated.
It may have been, but that's still under investigation right now.
But that's the reason why you would change the charge from second to first.
That's correct.
It's crazy. How could it get heated like that for you to kill your child?
I'll tell you how black women hate their children. My mother hates me. She did the best she could. She raised me in that doctrine. But my mother drew blood for me for something that I didn't do. All right? I got beatings for things that I didn't do based upon the narration of my siblings. All right? So, I'm just thankful that she didn't kill me. Go on.
Couldn't do it. I'm a mother. I would never do nothing like that to my kids. Walk away from the situation.
Now, according to a charging document, we've been able to see that family member who was playing the video games with Christopher Perry was ordered by Angelique Chase to go to the basement. And when that family member was in the basement, says that she came downstairs, got a revolver, went back upstairs, and then that family member says they heard a loud bang. We did get a statement from the school. They described Christopher Perry as a quiet kid who liked to help out serving lunches to middle school kids. He had been going to school there for many years. Live outside Prince George's County Police Headquarters, Paul Wagner, Fox 5 Local News.
The BT 900. That's what you're dealing with right now. And Miss Angelique Chase is the woman's name. Angelique Chase decided that she was going to shoot her kid. And I want you guys to realize how fucked up black bitches are. Let me explain. After shooting your kid in the chest, you decided to tell the police this: I was not trying to shoot him. I was lowering the pistol. But why would you have pointed a pistol at your son in the first place? Now, guys, as they were trying to get the police officer to say, we went from murder 2 to murder 1, which is premeditated. So they believe she shot the boy on purpose, especially since she told the other person, stay downstairs while I go back upstairs. Now, the little tight pants wearing little boy apparently didn't do nothing to know.
Now, once again, I just want to say something here. Look at the way this chick looks after killing her son. Does she look like she just did something like whatever untoward or no? But then you always got these mugs.
Are the representatives of all black women. Like, he don't know who Michelle Alexander is. Like, he don't know who Angela Davis is. And saying that they're hair-hatted hooligans. And saying that this is the reason why the hood is so messed up. And my retort to y'all brothers is, even if you're correct, even if every word that you're saying is true, what the hell makes you think that you can shame wounded people into shining? A wise man once said that there is no remedy in condemnation. Even if they feel a momentary sense of conviction to your words, if the self-esteem is too low, the emotional physics backfire, and that self-esteem becomes even lower because you decided to keep it real. All this keep it real talk that we have in this community.
When they bring up the story of the baby that got decapitated, this story about the lady who shot her son in the chest, and so many other stories like this, do not believe anything that this mug is saying. He seems like a nice man. Don't believe anything that this very nice guy is saying. Do your own research.
And he seemed like a good dude. But then everybody black seemed like a good dude as they died. But I want to ask you this question. It was that easy for this bitch to lie about murdering her own damn son. Why is it that we don't have any protest about Black Lives Matter or Black Mother Splatter when I've given you guys more stories of black mothers murdering their children, tons more, than cops murdering black youths? I'll say this again because nobody want to talk about it. I've given you way more stories about black women this year who's murdered black children this year, their own black children this year, than a cop murdering a black person. But there's no hashtag to stop black mothers from fucking killing their kids? You mean to tell me no one gives a shit if a black mother kills her kid? There's no program put together to stop these jackass black terminatrix from murdering their own damn kids? Nothing like that? No. We just don't skip that and wait on the next white cop to murder a black person so we can say, look, Black Lives Matter. This woman shot her kid over something as stupid as a video game. That's why all kids need fathers, because black mothers are unfucking stable. Nobody likes me, nobody wants to hear from me, but what I'm saying is true. The majority of you know what I'm saying, and the majority of you can tell a story right now of a black mother doing something unfucking stable that could have resulted in your death or serious injury. There was a video on Instagram the other day of a black woman getting mad because her son seemed nonchalant. She took a pan and hit him over the head and tried to fight him like a dude. Many of us were hit by several objects that our mothers could find in the house. High heel shoes, extension cord.
I remember my mother hitting me, and I couldn't even catch my breath before I cried. Yeah, we used to laugh about that too. Beaten with extension cords. You didn't need slavery because I had my mother. This is a very nice story, but I need to get on with this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You have a daughter, you have a child. It's 15 months old. 15 months old can get on your nerves. It cries, it yells, it screams, it does all kind of things that kind of piss you off. In the process of having this 15-month-old child, guess what happens? The 15-month-old child just gets to be too much. And when it gets to be too much, as a parent, what would you do? Hi, I'm Tommy Sotomayor, and welcome to TNN News Raw. You guys may remember the story of baby Janiyah. And Janiyah was born to a 22-year-old Ohio woman by the name of Desaya.
Let me finish this story.
Deja?
These mugs, man. These black women. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna stop doing videos about them because I don't think it's helping. But sometimes I do them just to just get it off my chest. It's like I'm sitting in purgatory or I'm in a pre-hell or hell and I'm surrounded by black demons who look like this after they kill their babies. Look at this guy. That's an interesting picture.
Hi, I'm Malika Bilal.
I'm very okay. You're in the stream. The stories of black women who have violent.
This reason why I'm showing this is because black women have so many apologists and so many supporters. I don't associate it. When I find out that a white girl has a bunch of black girlfriends, I definitely could tell. When I see the white girl in Black Lives Matters, I don't mess with them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to any person, period, who's in Black Lives Matter. But then they have these new black people that they're bringing. Whatever. There's no such thing as black or white people. First of all, that's something that was created. Some good graphics in here. I might use some of these ideas. I like the linear perspective in the back. But anyway, I'm gonna let this run.
Confrontations with police in America rarely make the headlines. Today we ask why.
Rikia Boyd, India Kager, Mgtow. These women are members of a solemn sisterhood. They were black, they were killed by police. Their deaths made headlines, but who they were went largely uncovered by the media. In recent months, there has been much focus on police killings of unarmed black people in the United States, thanks in part to the Black Lives Matter movement. But whether in the media or at protests, female victims are often left out of the conversation.
So why does this happen? Here to discuss this, we have Gina Best. She's a mother of India Kager, who died in a police shooting while sitting in the car in the state of Virginia. From Illinois, Angela Helton. She's the mother of Rikia Boyd, who was shot and killed by an off-duty police officer. Rikia's story is the focal point of a new Fault Lines documentary airing on Al Jazeera.
From Phoenix, Arizona, Frances Garrett. She's the mother of Mgtow, a mentally ill woman shot and killed by police while in her home. And in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sharon Cooper. She's the sister of Sandra Bland, who was arrested during a traffic stop and found hanged in her jail cell 3 days later. Welcome, everyone, to the stream.
Let me just show you Sandra Bland, and you can actually see her here. These are some of her videos. She was so social media savvy. I just want you to remember what she looked like, because it's been a while since her story was in the headlines. But Sharon, your sister's story, it made the headlines. People were talking about it. She became an icon. Why do you think that was? What happened in the community that made Sandy's story so important, and it was out there?
I think it was a two-pronged approach. I think one of the things that we were so fortunate to have happen to us is that we had a groundswell of support at the Chicago level.
All right, we're going to get back to Sharon in just a moment. That just froze there. The Skype froze there, but we'll get back to Gina. You were, when I said that this story went out there and Sandra Bland's story was out there, you were nodding. You recognized that. I'm sure you remember that time when you saw that story.
Absolutely. When I first saw the story of Sandra Bland, horrified, because it was beyond belief, but yet it occurred. And little had I known, 2 months later, I'd be sitting in a situation where my own daughter was murdered.
Sure. You're looking so poised right now. There's a moment where you go from...
One thing that I've already said this like 20,000 times. I can't stand these motherfuckers. Pardon my language. These women and their processed hair But even when they don't have process here, they're crazy. They're self-serving. I don't know any other. I mean, I see white women getting, and I hate to. No, I'm not going to say that. I see other groups of people. Everybody has a cross to bear in this world. Nobody gets through this world, but nobody. The only victims are them, are black women. Okay.
Private citizen to when people were talking about you, talking about your family.
Yes.
What was that moment like?
Surreal. First of all, to even receive notification that your loved one
She
has.
actually goes. They'll actually go on TV dressed like that with that shit, that yucky shit all over their fucking. I would be. Anybody should be embarrassed to go out looking like this. Looking like that. And they're spending big money to wear it.
He got shot. You know, the little yellow cones went from A to M, and you're going to tell me that you only fired 3 shots? When my baby got killed, they would not let her, the ambulance, come to pick her up. They had to take out the gurney. The police was standing there drinking
Why
coffee
did I
or
always get the
whatever.
most? Here we go.
That is continuously ripped off. The wound, as soon as it attempts to close a very little bit, there is either a development in either one of our individuals.
Where there's 1, there's no fun. Where there's 2, you better run. And where there's 3, I will not be. Look it up. It's Stream fighting. The Stream fighting for black women's lives, not anybody else's. Let's bring this one back. Then we're going to bring back Mr. Simp.
I'm going to say Deja, DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, SIA, DEA, SIA. I'm assuming it's Deja. Well, Deja appeared in court today in Hamilton County, Ohio, where she came and she threw herself on the mercy of the court. And today she was sentenced.
That's one thing about these mugs. If I say, don't cut the line, don't touch anything, it's like, ain't no black nigga telling me to do nothing. This chick stabbed her baby and decapitated her baby, and look how calm she is in front of the judge, the white judge. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. 50 years, thank you, sir. I'm going to go and read the Bible, and I'm going to go and... I can't stand nigglets, man. I just can't. If you're a niglet, then you can be offended. If you're a niglet, you'll be the safest person around me because I won't be around you. Where there's 1, there's no fun. Where there's 2, you better run. Where there's 3, I will not be. If you're someplace having a good time and you look over and see 5 Negroes walk in, get your shit. And do not call any attention to yourself. If things are intense, go in the bathroom and go out the damn window and shit. Motherfucking go through the fucking kitchen. Get the fuck away from them. Eventually, they will start seeing that nobody is around them. Nobody talks to them because they're like this. Except for when they're around me, then they're bad. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
15 years in jail. 15 years to life in prison. Why? Because she beheaded her own child. She beheaded her 15-year-old daughter, Janiyah, and the part that throws me off the most is what she did after. Let me read you. Watkins fractured the girl's arm before stabbing her repeatedly and severing her head from her body on March the 15th, on March of 2015. The child had reportedly been placed with Watkins' aunt, and prosecutors said Watkins killed her in the aunt's home. So they took the child from the mom, gave the child to the mom's aunt. The mom then allows the aunt allows the mom to come see the child. While seeing the child, that you know you weren't supposed to let see the child. That's why they gave you custody. You decided to go to sleep, go run an errand, go do whatever you wanted to do, everything except make sure that this crazy bitch wouldn't do what this crazy bitch did. The crazy bitch went inside of the room with the baby, broke the baby's arm, stabbed her neck so many times that it came off, severing the head from the body. The aunt slept in the other room. After you did this, this is just the unthinkable part of it, as you see in the title.
Okay, let's listen to this guy again. And this is everybody. This is the white women who can't find any fault in black women. No fault. There's no such thing as no fault person. I don't believe there's no fault insurance. But don't worry. On your way to hell, there will be people apologizing for everything you did, everything you've done. But that's not going to save you.
Is nothing but people keeping it real and delicate, not finding the tact necessary to make sure that their words are effective and land at the target that they're aimed at. Because, brothers, there's so much more going on than sisters just not having a man in their lives. Even if they did buy the hook, line, and sinker of feminism wholesale, why? You're taking a woman who has been denatured from 500 years of colonization and blaming her for this last 40-year bit, saying that she is the reason why things are the way that they are from 1970 on into now? Get out of here, man. There's nothing feasible and nothing realistic. And if you add a little bit of critical thinking, you could see that. So I don't want to attack you brothers too hard because you're still my brothers, even though we disagree on that. But what I will say is this. Sisters, I'm proud of you. You are the most educated segment of the population. Per 100,000, black women hold the most degrees of anybody.
Then why are their children failing everything? Why? Why don't you have any supporting videos for what you have to say? You're trite, you're cliche. Let's look up trite real fast. What did that say? Trite, motherfucker.
Any demographic that we can.
All right, let's go over this again. Black women are the most educated. Why are their children the least educated?
Nothing realistic. And if you add a little bit of critical thinking, you could see that. So I don't want to attack you brothers too hard because you're still my brothers, even though we disagree on that. But what I will say is this. Sisters, I'm proud of you. You are the most educated segment of the population. Per 100,000, black women hold the most degrees of anybody, any demographic that we can state in this nation. You did that. And you are well deserving of applause for that. I don't know where they're finding these completely ratchet examples of what black women are. The sisters I know are very complicated, very
All right. If a snake, this is getting to be an overused metaphor, but I'm going to go ahead and risk it. If you get bit by a snake and it poisons you and it causes you to lose something, are you going to at that point say, well, I want to say it was only one snake that bit me. There was a lot of good snakes out there that didn't bite me, so I don't have anything against snakes. Because snakes, it's not all snakes. It's just the one. All right. So then, who gives a fuck if a black woman kills her son? All you got to say is, look at all the black women that are in school, and it's like, no, we're not talking about them. You dumbass. Okay, go on.
sometimes simple, very complex, beautiful beings, man. Some of them are PhDs, shop owners, laughter therapists. These are the women that I see around me. So maybe if you ain't hanging around ratchet females, that's a reflection of you, brother. Maybe you need to step your game up because all I see right.
I don't hang around females. females hang around me. I shoot pool. I play chess. I do karaoke. If you're a female that does that, we can roll. But I don't go shopping with women. I don't go to bridge clubs. I don't freaking go to Bridges of Madison County movies, chick flicks. I don't do any of that. I don't hang around chicks. I don't hang around women.
Is people who are doing the best that they can with what they've been given.
You probably hang around the ladies' bathroom. Not that anything's wrong with that.
So if there is a situation where sisters have forgotten that men are important in their lives, believe me, they're beginning to understand that now. And my only critique of black women is this. Be mindful of how you vent your anger when you are disciplining your children. I don't know how many of y'all have had this experience. You go to the bus stop, train station.
When you're disciplining your children, don't fucking cut their head off.
The knife and placed it in the 15-month-old baby's hand. She later told police that she did this because she wanted the police to think that the child did it, not her. BT 1000. Nope, this is the BT 1100. Is it 1100? No, I think it's 1000. Watkins' plea this week comes after she had rejected an earlier plea deal. For more than a year, she had been mounting an insanity defense, and court documents obtained said that she was diagnosed with postpartum. I want you guys to think for a second. Postpartum, this thing that women get a chance to use to kill their children, to kill each other, to kill their husbands, to kill anyone. They have a built-in excuse, and yet we still believe that women make better parents than men. Men do not kill their kids because they have any kind of chemical imbalance. Men kill their kids, they don't get an insanity defense. Men kill their kids, we never ask, I wonder what's going on in his head. But women are allowed to murder their children, and the first thing we do is say, I wonder what's wrong with her. She must have been crazy. Things must have been hard in that home. Woman murders her husband. We ask, wonder what he did to her. This woman cut off her child's head, just like the man cut off his mother's head. What's the difference? The man is not considered to be crazy. This woman is. Good thing is she gets 15 years to life, probably because she's black. Watkins' plea deal says that she will be receiving psychiatric treatment as well while she's in jail. Watkins addressed the court at her hearing Thursday and expressed remorse for her crime. I love my daughter very much, she said, according to the prosecution source. I love her, she said, regardless of what anybody says. Speaking like a true black woman, that nothing you say will bother me, and nothing you say, no matter how many facts you have, will change the fact that what I just said is true.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
Authorities previously described Janai's death in stark terms. It's pretty horrific, the county coroner said in 2015. These are images that will be indelibly marked in my memory. Court officials say that Watkins could be released from custody when she's 35, given she's received credit for the time already served. 35 years old, she'll be right back in the streets, having more kids, killing more kids, ruining more lives. Now, we'd love to say about how everybody says to me, yo mama black. Well, this is another case of yo mama black. So why am I having all these stories about black mothers who are doing this, but you keep saying yo mama black as if that means that my mom was good or anybody else's mom was good? A black woman brought you into this world. That's why I saw some lame dude say today on his video talking about me. If it wasn't for a black woman. What the hell kind of logic is this? Well, it's the logic of Negroes. Anyway, guys, I just want you to see how the terminatrix is working and how effectively the court system is continuing to provide ways for these women to have children after children after children after children, just breed after breed after breed after breed, and they're financially assisting them. Now, these women get to continue to be around their kids while a man who can't afford child support will be told, You can't see your kid. You don't pay for it. Women are way more unstable than men, and the courts won't recognize that, even though the hospitals and everyone else does. The number one abusers of children is not men. The number one murderers of children is not men. Yet we still want to play this game, like we have to worry about what fathers are doing with children, when mothers are doing way worse than anyone could imagine. Go read the story. The link's in the description box. I'm Tommy Sotomayor. Fuck you and good night. Oh, and P.S. Can someone explain to me why there's all this outrage over a rap song done by a white girl which hurt nobody? It didn't do nothing but hurt feelings.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
There's all this outrage over a rap song done by a white girl which hurt nobody. It didn't do nothing but hurt feelings.
Hold on.
But there's no...
Wait. You are doing heresy right now. What did you just say? Hold on.
Oh, and P.S. Can someone explain to me why there's all this outrage over a rap song done by a white girl which hurt nobody? It didn't do nothing but hurt feelings. But there's no outrage over all these mothers and all these stories of all these mothers who are murdering and abusing their children. Why is there no outrage over any of this? Why is that no one is going around...
Tommy, the reason why is because the question is answering itself. The question answers itself. The white liberals have found the way to destroy a people. And that way is to use the black woman. That's why they're the whores of Babylon. You ask that question. You ask that question like you don't know what the answer is. The black woman is the scourge, man. I avoid them like I just observe them like somebody in the wild observing.
Like they're marching over one rap song. Think about it. One rap song, dozens of murders of children. One rap song, dozens of abuse cases of children. One rap song, dozens of sexual abuse done by women to children. One rap song makes the rounds around America, and it needs to be shut down, and motherfuckers need safe spaces. Mothers killing their children, their husbands, their siblings. No safe space needed. No outrage needed. No Black Lives Matter anywhere. You think we were in a twilight zone? We're not. This is actually where we are today in America. Fucked.
And you see this black woman, this young sister, just venting on her little baby. Sisters, be mindful of that. If you got to discipline your child, if that child's not immediate danger, maybe calm down before you do that, because you're programming the inner voice of that child. If you keep telling that baby that he ain't shit, when that baby grows up, he gonna tell himself that. How do I know? Listen to your own inner voice when you mess up. What do you hear? Probably the voice of whoever raised you, who had the voice of whoever raised them, and that traces all the way back to the overseer on the plantation. So unwittingly, when we curse at our children, we are bringing their self-esteem down in the same way that the overseer did. The cycle begins to break when you decide to speak with firm, loving kindness to your babies, man. Because if not, that is the mechanism that we make a mental slave. So be mindful of that. We got to step past that behavior. But other than that, and that's not all black women, I would say that that's a majority, because realistically, we wouldn't have gotten this far if we weren't doing something right up against the obstacles that we are facing. And it's so easy to vent the anger that you should have at your oppressor to those who are closest to you. That's a mistake. I will say this, man. I think that we need to be mindful that if you have a critique of black women, brothers, why aren't you stepping in? I'll give you an example. There was a time I was at the a train station, man, and I got off the train, and there was a sister there had this little baby boy. I mean, he was aggressive, little wild little dude. He's about 6 years old, you know what I'm saying? And she could not control him. Now, me, this girl, and this baby was the only black people at this train station. Everybody else was white, just looking at, look at how she's treating her child. Oh my goodness, those Negroes just can't get it right. And it was slightly embarrassing. And this sister had had enough. She grabbed for her belt, and she began to pull it out, and I said, stop. Sis, I'm a mandatory reporter with Denver Public Schools. If I see something, I gotta say something. I don't want to see nothing. Put that belt away, and I addressed the kid. I was like, little dude, don't you ever embarrass your moms like this when you out here in public. Let me see you doing that again, and you're going to have to deal with me, young man. Are we clear? And the little boy was like, okay, okay. The bass in my voice, the man, stood up inside of me, and it addressed that little man inside of him, and he got right. Brothers, if you got a critique, step into your community. I don't know what Tommy Sotomayor and them is doing. I got nonprofits. I'm writing grants out here. I got mentorship programs with the homeless black youth of this country, this city. That's what I'm doing. If you ain't doing that, don't fix your mouth to critique these black women. Because in the final analysis, it is the height of cowardice to vent the anger that you should have at your oppressor at your woman. You might as well tuck tail right now. Call this revolution, call this renaissance that we having over with. Do not be a part of the problem. Because what's getting at me is this. I mentioned Sandra Bland in the very beginning of this video, right? Cats like Tommy Sotomayor, who's writing these videos, putting these narratives out about sisters. How do you know that somebody watching that is not a police officer? How do you know that a cop is not using your very words to justify the dehumanization of black women? You see, when you destroy people, you need propaganda. And the final nail in that propaganda be what those people say about themselves. They can't wait to dehumanize us. When you're trying to critique us, we are not living in a free and self-determined state right now. They will use your words, brother. When they pull over Sandra Bland or any other sister right here, and they will dehumanize them the way that you will dehumanize them. If you call us monkeys, they will call us monkeys. They cannot wait to see the black person said it. It's got to be true. Be careful of that shit, man. And I know that the Sandra Bland case is yet to be solved right now. I personally know everything's fishy. This video is not about that, man. Yeah, they killed him. Period, point blank. But my point is that you better start affirming your people into greatness. This shaming shit ain't working. We've been doing that. It is a dysfunctional mechanism that we learned on the plantation. So to affirm my sisters, at the bottom of this link, I'm going to leave a video that my brother Joshua Bennett made, a poem he wrote, phenomenal poem called 10 Things I Want to Say to a Black Woman. That's what I'm after right now. Brothers, do better. Sisters, make sure that you're giving these babies the best. And I'll talk to you next time. This is Theo E.J. Wilson, out.
In the history of time, there will be people who are coming to their destiny. And by destiny, I mean coming to their end. And there are people who will be contemplating their navels. There will be people when everything is right in front of them that will be trying to decide what kind of boots they should wear today or what movie. But I'm not here to lecture anybody. The evidence is out there. I strongly suggest that you do not believe me. Do not believe anything that I say. But I do suggest don't believe them. Don't believe the very nice looking white man that's on TV with his nice suit. I have suits, but generally I don't wear them unless it's some kind of like Halloween thing for me. When there's one, there's no fun. When there's two, you better run, and when there's three, I will not be. And one of the reasons why I put this presentation in front of you is because I don't spend my days and nights worrying about women decapitating their children or women shooting their sons in the chest. I don't worry about that all day. There's Planet X and the second sun barreling towards Earth. while people are worrying about the size of the Kardashians behind. Do not believe me. Do not believe anybody else. Do your own research. Make your own videos. Take your own pictures. Good night.